What's up guys, Alan here. Welcome back to the Mash Brothers YouTube channel. Today I've got a great bourbon hunting video and we're going to be checking out some of the bourbon I found on a recent trip to Florida. We stopped down in Bardstown, Kentucky and found some great bourbon. So let's see what we found. First stop on our trip, we stopped down at Costco Wholesale down in Florence, Kentucky. First thing you walk into is this big display of 1.75 bottles. You got Woodford Double Oak, some Basil Hayden. Even though stuff's disgusting, we go and check out, see what Woodford Double Oak has. I thought it might be a store pick, but nope, just a regular Double Oak. So it's still great price for that bottle. Again, passing by the Basil Hayden. We didn't record any audio while we were in these stores, by the way, mostly because these stores were playing audio and don't own any copyright strikes, so we decided just to kind of film as we went and do a voiceover at the end. Angel's Envy, again, looking to see. I've seen some store picks down here. Thought I'd check real quick. Not a store pick, not a cast strength, anything. Should have known by that price, but $39, not a bad price. Some Knob Creek 9-year, some great bourbon there. And then the Smoke Wagon. I've been looking for the Uncut Unfiltered for a good price. This is the lowest I've seen it. Such a great bottle. One of my favorite bottles I've tried in a long time from MGP. $70, not a bad price at all. But then you see in the background right here, and I'm going to zoom in on it, this Woodford Reserve Baccarat. $1,700. Honestly, who is paying that price for a bottle of bourbon like that? Absolutely not. Walk over to here to the right-hand side. We still got more of the same. We got more of the Bullet 1.75, some Four Roses 1.75, some Johnny Walker Blue Label, some great bourbon. Basil Hayden 10-year. Never had it. Again, I'm just not a big Basil Hayden fan, so decided to pass on that. Wild Turkey 101, great bottle there. If you guys have never tried some Wild Turkey 101. Going by and seeing some Joseph Magnus, another bourbon I've heard some good things about. Never had it, though. Really looking out for that cigar blend. I've heard some great things about the cigar blend, but for $80, I decided to pass on in this one today. Blade & Bow, another good bourbon that I've had coming from the Stitzel Weller distillery. Wasn't the biggest fan of this stuff. Cool story, like the key aspect and being able to get your, I'm pretty sure they give like a Glencairn or something like that if you collect all 5 keys. Some Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Never actually had that, but today I see the Knob Creek, and this one's calling my name. I haven't had a store pick of this before, and for $54, pretty sure I'm going to pick one of these up and take it home with me today. Walking down a little bit further, they have some Michter's down a little bit further. Again, another bourbon I've tried recently. I'd never really had Michter's. It's one of those bottles I see on the shelf all the time, but never actually picked it up. $43. Don't know. I've got a long trip, so we're going to check and see what else we can find. Walking down just a little bit further, we've got Pinhook, another cool bourbon bottle that I've seen. Never actually tried any of this stuff. If you guys have tried Pinhook, let me know what you guys think. $39, not a bad price for it. Looks like the pink purplish bottle was the higher proof. Again, never actually had this stuff, but definitely a cool looking bottle. I'd like to learn more about it. I see it's made from Castle and Key. Not the biggest fan of Castle and Key whiskey, so decided to pass on that one today. Moving down a little bit further, they had some Old Grandad for $20. That's a great deal for this bourbon. Never actually tried it myself, but something I'd like to pick up in the future. Down here below, we couldn't really get a good camera angle, but normal Russell's 10-year, $35. Now, later in this trip, I see this bourbon for way higher the price. I couldn't believe the prices I was seeing for some of the Russell 10-year. Some new Riff single barrel, as well as some Old Tub. Four Roses, I love the Four Roses single barrel. Small Batch Select, I have not been the biggest fan of, but the single barrel is one of my favorite bottles that I have, especially with that little bit of a higher rye note. Basil Hayden Toast, just, no, I can't get behind that, not a fan. Also saw some of this old Bardstown, saw it's made from Willett Distillery. Again, it's something else I've never been able to really find back here in Ohio. Thought about picking it up, but you know, I'm being very selective, very picky with what I'm getting today. Just decided to pass out on this bottle as well. If you guys are Angel Envy finished rye bottles, these are the cheapest I ever seen these bottles. Usually $93 in Ohio. Don't know what they are in your area, but around here it's way too expensive. Got to the checkout and I had to pick up that Knob Creek, and my son, he was all about trying to pay for it and he was all excited to be there. Next stop, we get down to EverGreen Liquors down in Bardstown, Kentucky, and this place was, oh my god, beautiful. Look how big and just awesome this place is. They had an amazing tasting bar, which we'll get back to later here in the video. But as you walk in, to the right-hand side, you're greeted by the first bottle, Penelope store pick. Pretty cool bottle. Some Pursuit Spirits, another bottle I've heard some great things about, but I've never actually picked up one myself. And here was their behind the counter, their locked up box. Some great whiskey down here, some Four Gates, some Lux Row, Willet Purple Tops. Super expensive, $1,000 for that Willet Purple Top. I'd love to get my hands on a bottle, but just not today, not for that price. I've also heard some great things about this 2XO Innkeeper's blend and just some of the 2XO products. So if you guys have had it, let me know in the comments, like what should I pick it up? Is it a bottle that you recommend? Let me know. I also think those Rabbit Hole bottles are super cool, but just cannot get behind the $150 price point. Heaven Hill, I recently picked up a bottle of that and I really enjoyed that. The Willet Green Top, not the biggest fan, but pretty good rye whiskey. Now I saw this Copper and Kings and I've heard some cool story about how they do sonic aging on these bottles. Thought about picking one of these up as well today and just decided to pass on it. $70 seemed a little bit high for what I'm looking for. And these next few shots, I did a wide angle, but I found out my camera is not the greatest at wide angle. Everything's a little bit blurry, so I tried to get a good angle for you guys to see everything, to let you know, or to let me know whether I missed anything that I should have picked up. So if you see anything sitting on the shelves that I should pick up next time I'm out, let me know in the comments. You got the whole Benchmark lineup down here. I'm not a huge fan of the Benchmark lineup. A bunch of people talk great things about it. Personally, not the biggest fan of it. Some more of that Pinhook and some Widow Jane 10-year. Another video bottle I've heard good things about. Now I saw this Moonlight Mayhem. Never heard of it before. Thought I'd check it out, but I'm going to end up seeing that a few more times on this trip. Here's the Angel Envy private barrel I was looking for. Not too bad of a price, but more than I'm wanting to spend right now on a bottle. Some great store picks they had here. If you guys have had any of these, let me know what you guys think of any of them. Now, Yellowstone is a bottle that Luke and I have both been looking at. I think it's cool. Like, the bottle looks very cool. I'm a big fan of the way it looks, but what does the whiskey taste like inside? Something I've never had. Maybe I'm just going to go out and have to go out and try have a pour of it somewhere, but was just not grabbing it today. Another bottle I've heard a bunch of good things about is this Green River. Another bottle I haven't had yet. Hopefully pick up one day. Great price on the bottle, just decided not to. Same thing with this Johnny Drum, $39. I think I see it a few more times along this trip, maybe for a few dollars more, a few dollars less, but $39, not a bad bottle. Early times, you know, we always have to look and see if we find some plastic tops. Not any today, but kept looking for a price, couldn't find it on that one. That seems like a bunch of places down here definitely had Buffalo Trace. However, this is one of the best prices we're going to see the entire trip for only $30. But the highlight of EverGreen was definitely their liquor bar. Had some great bottles up on the shelf. The first page is filled with their store picks. A whole bunch of nice selection of bottles here. Something I definitely wanted to try. And then the rest of the page. There's so many heavy hitters here that I wanted to try. I could have sat here all day and sat and tried bourbon, but pretty sure my wife and my son would have killed me. I ended up deciding to go for the Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year. I've never had any Van Winkle products, so pretty excited about trying this one. I believe it was only $20 for a pour, for a 1 ounce pour. So as I tried it, I will have to say one of the better bourbons I've ever had in my life. It's a bottle I'm definitely going to be out on the lookout for. Call me a tater all you want, but damn, this was some good stuff. The next stop was the Blind Pig. This store is a very small store, especially compared to EverGreen, but no shortage of cool bottles. They had a whole bonded section and some just different bottles that you don't typically see. Again, I could sit here all day and be like, what's this bottle? What's this bottle? But some really cool selections that they had here. They also had tastings in the back when we walked in, and I ended up trying, and you'll see it again here, that Moonlight Bourbon. Some of the picks here, wasn't the biggest fan. Some of the stuff was left over from the Bourbon Festival when we were down there. Again, not my favorite bottles that I've tried, but definitely appreciated the free pours. Never going to turn down a free pour. Prices for the most part here were about the same, maybe a few dollars more, but overall, not too bad pricing on everything that I saw here. Nothing crazy outrageous that kind of stood out to me in this store, but definitely a fun store to go check out. As I said, there was no shortage of that Moonlight Mayhem, as you'll see here in another clip. They are just everywhere. This place is littered with them, and definitely thought about picking it up. And another bottle here I thought about picking up too is this Old Louisville. I don't remember the price on that I saw it for, but pretty sure it was more than I wanted to spend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a quick one, but we only ended up picking up one bottle along the whole trip, just the Knob Creek single barrel along this part of the trip. However, in total, we do end up with 7 bottles along this trip, so definitely be on the lookout for future videos to show the rest of the bourbon hunting experience as we travel through Tennessee, Georgia, as well as Florida. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. We are so close to hitting 100 subscribers. Greatly appreciate it if you check us out and give us some love. If you guys haven't checked us out already, we're on TikTok, Facebook, as well as Instagram. We'd love to see you guys over there. So until the next one, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out. We'll see you in the next one.